Across every expanse of our planet, from the blistering sands of the Sahara to the icy abyss of the Antarctic deep, a relentless and silent contest unfolds. In the tangled rainforests, the wind-swept tundra, and the endless grasslands, life is locked in a ceaseless dance of challenge and response. This is not a conflict of borders or beliefs, but a primordial contest, an unbroken thread stretching back to the dawn of life, where every organism is both participant and prize in the struggle for existence. Each creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest mammal, is equipped with a unique arsenal, claws honed for grasping, eyes sharpened for spotting danger, skins patterned for vanishing into the background. These are not mere accidents, but the result of countless generations shaped by the unforgiving hand of natural selection. The rewards of this struggle are not measured in territory or riches, but in the simple, vital acts of living. The chance to feed, to reproduce, to nurture the next generation, and to survive the night. These confrontations, though fierce and sometimes fatal, are not driven by cruelty. They are the inevitable outcomes of necessity, where every action is a calculated risk in the pursuit of survival. In these moments, time seems to slow. The pounce of a lion, the desperate dash of a gazelle, the sudden strike of a serpent. Each encounter is a testament to the raw, unfiltered drama that defines the wild. The rules are absolute and merciless. There is no room for error, no second chances. Every animal must secure its next meal while avoiding becoming a meal itself. Navigating a world where the line between hunter and hunted is razor thin. Territories must be claimed and defended, mates must be won, and the vulnerable young must be shielded from a world brimming with peril at every turn. From the very first breath, every decision is a matter of life and death. The newborn must learn to stand, to run, to hide, sometimes within moments of entering the world. A single heartbeat's hesitation can spell the difference between a full belly and empty hunger, between escape and capture. One miscalculated leap, one moment of distraction, and the jaws of fate close in. To us, these scenes are awe-inspiring displays of power and tenacity, but for the animals, they are the crucible in which their very existence is forged. Each confrontation is a test of strength, cunning, and resilience, a moment where the stakes could not be higher. This endless contest is the driving force behind evolution itself, sculpting every trait, every behavior, every instinct that defines a species. The cheetah's explosive speed is met by the gazelle's nimble evasion. The dragonfly's aerial acrobatics outmatch the bird's pursuit. The venomous strike of a serpent is met by the specialized resistance of its adversary, while armor and agility offer other creatures a fighting chance. Cooperation, deception, brute force, and patient ambush. Each strategy is a move in the intricate chess game of survival. From the synchronized tactics of a wolf pack to the solitary courage of a mother bear, the diversity of survival strategies is as vast as the natural world itself. These are not mindless acts of violence, but complex, intelligent behaviors, evidence of the remarkable adaptability and ingenuity that life has evolved to meet every challenge. By observing these epic encounters, we glimpse the delicate equilibrium that sustains entire ecosystems, where every action ripples outward, shaping the fate of countless lives. The competition for scarce resources, water, food, shelter, intensifies with the changing seasons, droughts, floods, and the ever-present shadow of environmental upheaval. These legendary confrontations are more than spectacles. They are the living chronicles of adaptation, resilience, and the unyielding will to survive. Each story is a testament to the creativity and perseverance of life, revealing how even the most daunting obstacles can be overcome through innovation and determination. These daily dramas invite us to witness the intricate, breathtaking theatre of the wild, a world where every moment is a battle, every victory hard-won, and every life a story of courage, adaptation, and the eternal struggle to endure. Beneath the cool, shifting blue of Australia's temperate coastal waters, a drama of survival and transformation is set in motion, one that few eyes ever witness in its entirety. Each year, as the seasons change, the ocean floor becomes a living tapestry. Hundreds of thousands of Australian spider crabs emerge from the depths, assembling in a synchronized march across the sandy seabed. Their numbers swell until the seafloor itself seems to ripple and move. This extraordinary migration is not a journey of conquest, but of necessity. The crabs are compelled by an ancient biological rhythm, the need to molt, to shed their confining exoskeletons and begin anew. Their old shells, once protective armor, have become rigid cages. Growth is impossible without first breaking free from these hardened walls. The process is both miraculous and perilous. Each crab must split its shell, wriggle out of the narrow opening, and emerge soft and exposed, a delicate creature in a world of danger. For a brief but critical window, their bodies are unarmored, their movements sluggish. Even the gentle current can buffet them, and the threat of predation looms larger than ever. In this state, a crab's limbs are pliable, its shell translucent and paper-thin. The ocean, usually a place of relative safety, becomes a gauntlet of lurking predators, each one alert to the opportunity for an easy meal. To survive this vulnerable stage, the crabs have evolved a remarkable solution. They gather in immense, tightly packed groups, relying on the principle of safety in numbers. These aggregations form sprawling mounds that can stretch nearly 100 meters across, transforming the shallow meadows into bustling fortresses of life. Within these living barricades, each crab presses close to its neighbors, their claws and legs interlocking in a dense, shifting mass. Here, the odds of survival improve with every additional body. The sheer magnitude of the gathering is enough to give pause to even the most determined predator. The aggregation becomes a formidable obstacle, a living wall that few can penetrate. Yet danger is never far. Smooth stingrays, masters of stealth, glide above the crab mounds, their flat bodies casting ominous shadows. They are patient hunters, waiting for a moment of weakness at the edge of the throng. For those crabs nestled deep within the pile, the group acts as a living shield. The outer layers absorb the brunt of predatory attention, while the inner crabs are granted precious time to harden their new shells. The atmosphere is tense, every movement charged with anticipation. Each crab is acutely aware of the risks, yet none can afford to break away. As the molting begins in earnest, stingrays circle with relentless patience, their senses tuned to the faintest sign of vulnerability. A crab that emerges too far from the group or lags behind becomes an easy target. Its soft body offers little resistance to the jaws of a hungry predator. The stingrays sweep over the aggregation, their electroreceptors scanning for the telltale signals of a weakened crab. Every pass is a test of fate. Isolation spells almost certain doom. A lone crab, separated from the mass, is quickly singled out and devoured. Every crab faces a calculated risk. The journey to the aggregation, the act of molting, and the hope of survival are all part of a delicate balance between danger and necessity. In this teeming city of claws and shells, anonymity is the greatest defense. Each crab hopes to disappear into the crowd, trusting that the odds will favor its survival. The migration itself is a marvel of coordination. Waves of crabs move as one, their collective instinct guiding them to the safety of the shallows and back again to deeper waters. Here, the fate of the individual is inseparable from the fate of the group. Each crab's survival depends on the unity and cohesion of the aggregation. As the days pass, the survivors harden their new shells. One by one they slip away from the group, their bodies now armored and ready to face the open ocean once more. This armored tide, forged in the crucible of risk, is a testament to nature's relentless drive for renewal. Each crab that survives carries the story of this gamble in its newly minted shell. In the end, the spider crab's greatest vulnerability becomes their greatest strength. Through unity, They defy the odds, proving that in the wild, survival is often a collective triumph, a gamble for new life played out beneath the waves. In the unforgiving expanse of the Nevada desert, where the sun scorches the earth and the wind carries only dust, water is the rarest treasure. Here, every drop is a lifeline, and the struggle for survival is written into the very soil. As the relentless summer heat intensifies, the few remaining waterholes recede, shrinking to muddy, shallow puddles. These isolated oases become the focal points of life and death, drawing every creature for miles around into a silent, desperate contest. Among the most iconic of these desert survivors are the wild mustangs. Their herds, lean and wary, move with purpose across the cracked earth, their nostrils flaring as they catch the faint scent of water on the wind. Each herd is led by a dominant stallion, a guardian whose strength and cunning are constantly put to the test. His leadership is not just a matter of pride. It is the difference between life and death for his family. To control a waterhole is to control the fate of the herd. The stallion who holds this ground ensures his mares and foals can drink, and in doing so secures his legacy. But such a prize is never uncontested. The air vibrates with tension as rival stallions approach, their bodies taut with anticipation, ready to risk everything for a chance at dominance. Under the relentless glare of the midday sun, the ground shimmers with heat. The waterhole, now little more than a muddy depression, becomes the stage for an ancient drama. A powerful white stallion stands sentinel, his muscles rippling beneath a coat dusted with sand. His mere presence is a warning, a silent claim to the precious water behind him. Yet on the horizon, a younger, darker stallion emerges. Driven by thirst and the needs of his own herd, he approaches with measured steps, his eyes locked on the defender. The challenger has journeyed over 15 grueling kilometers, his hooves battered by the unforgiving terrain. Every stride is a testament to his determination, every breath a reminder of what is at stake. At the water's edge, the two stallions face each other, their bodies tense, ears pinned back, nostrils flared. The air is thick with anticipation, the silence broken only by the distant calls of their herds. With a sudden burst, the standoff erupts. Hooves pound the earth, sending up clouds of dust. Snorts and shrill cries pierce the stillness as the rivals circle, each searching for an opening. The battle is a blur of motion, manes flying, hooves striking, teeth bared in primal fury. Each stallion unleashes his full strength, the sound of their collision echoing across the barren land. Rearing onto their hind legs, they clash with bone-jarring force. Powerful jaws snap and sharp hooves lash out, each blow a calculated risk in this brutal contest. The dust swirls around them, obscuring the violence of the struggle. They charge and retreat, muscles straining, sweat and blood mingling with the sand. For a moment they break apart, circling warily. This is not a fight to the death, but a test of resolve and endurance. Each stallion gauges the other, searching for weakness. The younger stallion, driven by hunger and the cries of his herd, refuses to yield. His eyes burn with determination, his body battered but unbroken. Again they collide, kicks and bites exchanged in a flurry of movement. The challenger absorbs the blows, responding with renewed ferocity, his will unshaken. The struggle is relentless, a raw display of power and instinct. Each stallion fights not just for himself, but for the survival of his bloodline in this merciless land. At last, the younger stallion finds his moment. With a surge of strength, he lands a decisive kick, forcing the white stallion to stagger back, his energy spent. Defeated and exhausted, the white stallion lowers his head and retreats, his reign over the waterhole ended by the relentless drive of his rival. The victorious stallion stands tall, his sides heaving, as his herd rushes forward to drink. In this moment, he has secured not just water, but the future of his lineage. Some of the defeated stallion's mares, recognizing the strength of the new leader, drift toward him, their loyalty shifting with the tides of power. This battle, fierce and unyielding, is a vivid reminder of how the scarcity of resources shapes every aspect of life in the wild. Here, only the strongest and most determined can hope to endure. As the sun sets over the Nevada desert, the new stallion leads his herd away from the waterhole, their silhouettes etched against the fading light, a testament to the enduring power of will, strength, and survival in nature's harshest arenas. In the vast, sun-drenched savannas of Africa, existence is a relentless contest shaped by the merciless cycle of wet and dry seasons. Here, every living creature is bound to the rhythm of the rains, and when the clouds vanish, the land transforms into a parched expanse, where survival becomes a daily struggle. As the last drops of rain are absorbed by the thirsty earth, the grasslands wither and the rivers recede, leaving behind isolated waterholes, lifelines for the multitudes that roam these plains. These precious oases draw animals from miles around, each driven by an unyielding thirst. Yet beneath the tranquil surface, danger lurks, ancient predators biding their time in the shadows. The Nile crocodile, a living relic from the age of dinosaurs, is the undisputed master of these waters. With only its eyes and nostrils breaking the surface, it remains almost invisible, perfectly adapted to ambush. Its armor-plated body and immense jaws are the result of millions of years of evolution, each scale a testament to its resilience and predatory prowess. Motionless, the crocodile becomes indistinguishable from the muddy riverbank, a living shadow. Its patience is legendary. It can wait for hours, even days, for the perfect opportunity. As the dry season deepens, herds of Cape buffalo are drawn to the water's edge, their massive forms moving with a mixture of urgency and caution. Driven by dehydration, the buffalo press forward, their need for water overwhelming their natural wariness. Each step is a calculated risk, but thirst leaves little room for hesitation. The herd's senses are heightened. Ears flick, nostrils flare, and eyes scan the water for any sign of movement. Instinct warns them, but the promise of relief is too powerful to resist. Every ripple, every shadow beneath the surface is scrutinized. The buffalo know that the river is both a source of life and a stage for death. Despite the ever-present threat, the herd lowers their heads to drink, driven by a need that outweighs fear. The water is muddy, but to them it is liquid gold. For the crocodile, this is the moment of truth. Muscles coil beneath the surface, eyes lock onto a target, and the predator prepares to unleash its explosive power. In a split second, the calm is shattered. The crocodile surges from the water, jaws agape, aiming for a leg or muzzle. Its attack is swift, silent, and often deadly. The herd erupts in panic, hooves churning the mud, bodies colliding in a desperate scramble to escape. In the chaos, one animal is often left behind, seized by the relentless predator. The crocodile's jaws snap shut with bone-crushing force, a display of raw power and precision. In slow motion, the violence of the ambush is both mesmerizing and terrifying. From the stillness of the water, the crocodile explodes into action, its jaws locking onto its prey with unyielding strength. The struggle is immediate and intense. Even a buffalo, with its immense bulk and formidable horns, is at a disadvantage if caught off guard. The crocodile uses its powerful tail and body to drag its victim into deeper water, where escape becomes nearly impossible. Yet the outcome is never guaranteed. Sometimes the buffalo's strength and determination allow it to break free, leaving the crocodile with nothing but a mouthful of mud. If the crocodile's grip falters, or if it is sluggish from the relentless sun, the buffalo can turn the tables, using its power to shake off the predator and rejoin the safety of the herd. The battle at the water's edge is a dramatic contest of strength and endurance, a primal tug-of-war that can last for agonizing minutes. When the great wildebeest migrations arrive, the scale of this drama multiplies. Tens of thousands of animals surge toward the rivers, compelled by instinct to cross despite the lurking peril. In places like the Gmeti River, hundreds of crocodiles gather, their numbers swelling in anticipation of the annual feast. The water becomes a gauntlet of jaws and teeth. As the wildebeest leap into the current, the river erupts in chaos. Crocodiles strike from every angle, targeting the weak, the young, and the unlucky. The confusion of the crossing works in the crocodile's favor. Panic spreads through the herd, and in the turmoil, predators seize their chance. Here, survival is a matter of chance as much as strength. Each crossing is a deadly lottery, with life and death decided in the blink of an eye. The aftermath is stark, a riverbank strewn with the remains of the fallen, feeding not only crocodiles but a host of scavengers. This brutal exchange is essential to the ecosystem, a vivid reminder of the high cost of life in the African wilds, where every drop of water is both a promise and a peril. In the heart of the frozen Canadian north, where the wind howls across endless plains and the snow lies deep and unbroken, a drama of survival unfolds with every winter. Here, the land is both breathtaking and unforgiving, a place where only the most resilient creatures endure. Against this stark backdrop, a formidable wolf pack, sometimes as many as 25 strong, emerges from the shadows of the forest. Their target, the wood bison, the largest land mammal in North America, whose sheer size and strength make it a daunting adversary. For a lone wolf, the prospect of bringing down an adult bison is impossible. The bison stands as a living fortress, a ton of muscle and horn, its breath steaming in the frigid air, every movement radiating power and caution. Yet the wolves possess a secret weapon: unity. Each member of the pack is attuned to the others, moving as one organism, their coordination honed by countless hunts and the unspoken language of survival. Through subtle glances, body postures, and quiet signals, the wolves communicate. Their strategy is not improvised, but the result of generations of instinct and experience, each wolf knowing its role in the unfolding hunt. The hunt begins with patience. The wolves do not rush. Instead, they stalk the herd, conserving energy, their eyes fixed on the bison, every muscle coiled in anticipation. For hours, sometimes days, the wolves shadow the herd, their presence a constant, silent threat. The bison sense the danger, their movements growing tense, their formation tightening. The wolves' sharp eyes scan for any sign of weakness. A calf lagging behind, an elder limping, a momentary lapse in the herd's unity. Every detail is noted, every opportunity weighed. The bison, for their part, are not passive. Sensing the wolves' intent, they respond with a time-tested defense, drawing together in a living wall of muscle and horn. The adults form a tight circle, their massive heads lowered, horns angled outward. This formation is nearly impenetrable, a testament to the bison's own unity and instinct for collective protection. At the heart of this living fortress, the calves and weaker members are shielded, their safety dependent on the unwavering resolve of the adults surrounding them. The result is a tense standoff, a battle of patience and willpower. Neither side dares to make the first reckless move, knowing that a single mistake could mean disaster. The wolves begin to circle, probing for a gap, their movements calculated and relentless. Each feint is a test, each lunge a question posed to the bison's defenses. They dart in and out, snapping at the edges, forcing the bison to shift and adjust, searching for the slightest sign of panic or disorder. The wolves' persistence is unyielding. Their goal is to sow confusion, to exploit any moment when the herd's unity falters and a vulnerable member is exposed. When the pressure becomes too great, the herd may break, fleeing across the snow in a thunder of hooves. In that instant, the wolves' strategy shifts from patience to pursuit. The pack's focus narrows to a single target, the slowest, the weakest, the one separated from the group. The chase is on, and the wolves' endurance is put to the ultimate test. In perfect coordination, some wolves race ahead to block escape routes, while others flank and press from behind, herding the bison, exhausting it with every stride. The pursuit can stretch for miles, the snow stained with the effort of predator and prey alike. Both sides are pushed to their physical limits, the outcome uncertain until the very end. The wolves pay a heavy price for their ambition. Their bodies ache, their breath comes in ragged clouds, and injuries are common. Every hunt is a gamble with survival. A single miscalculation, a bison's kick, a slip on the ice can be fatal. The risk is ever present, the margin for error razor thin. But when the wolves succeed, the reward is immense. A single kill can sustain the entire pack through the harshest weeks of winter, a testament to the value of their unity and perseverance. The victory is not just one of strength, but of strategy, communication, and the unbreakable bonds that tie the pack together. In this frozen wilderness, the test of unity and endurance is never-ending. It is a relentless cycle, a profound demonstration that in nature, survival belongs not to the strongest alone, but to those who stand together, adapt, and endure. As dawn breaks over the endless plains of Kenya, a golden light spills across the savannah, revealing a world where survival is a relentless contest of speed, strength, and strategy. The cheetah, with its sleek, aerodynamic body and long, powerful limbs, is the undisputed champion of acceleration, capable of reaching 60 miles per hour in mere seconds. Yet this extraordinary speed comes at a steep price. The cheetah's lightweight frame, built for velocity, leaves it vulnerable to injury and exhaustion after every chase. Unlike lions or hyenas, cheetahs lack the muscle mass for drawn-out struggles. Their hunts are brief, high-stakes sprints. If the first attempt fails, the energy lost can mean going hungry for days. Solitary cheetahs focus on smaller, more manageable prey, like Thompson's gazelles, relying on stealth and a sudden burst of speed to close the distance before their quarry can react. But the savannah is unforgiving, and competition is fierce. To overcome these challenges, some cheetahs have evolved a remarkable solution: cooperation. Male siblings form coalitions, tightly bonded groups that move, hunt, and defend territory as one. This alliance transforms their prospects, allowing them to attempt feats impossible for a lone hunter. The coalition's synchronized movements and shared vigilance create a formidable force, shifting the balance of power on the plains. Together, these brothers can target prey that would be far too dangerous for a single cheetah: large antelope and even the mighty ostrich. The ostrich, towering above the grass, is a daunting adversary. Its sheer size and strength make it a risky target, but the reward is substantial. An adult ostrich's legs are weapons in their own right. One well-placed kick can shatter bone or even kill a predator outright. With keen eyesight and the ability to maintain high speeds over long distances, the ostrich is not easily ambushed or outrun. For a lone cheetah, even considering such prey would be reckless. A single misstep could prove fatal. But for a coalition, the risk is calculated. Each brother has a role, and together they can outmaneuver even the most formidable opponent. The hunt begins with silent communication, subtle glances, body language, and an unspoken understanding honed by years of living and hunting together. The brothers wait, hidden in the tall grass, muscles coiled and senses alert, studying the ostrich's every move. Using the landscape as cover, they inch closer, each step measured and deliberate, minimizing any chance of detection. With precision, they fan out, encircling the ostrich and blocking potential escape routes, their strategy unfolding like a well-rehearsed dance. At the perfect moment, one brother bursts from cover, driving the ostrich toward his waiting siblings, who are poised to intercept. The final assault is a display of courage and coordination, each cheetah playing his part in a high-risk, high-reward gambit. One leaps onto the ostrich's back, clinging with claws and teeth, while the others move in to immobilize the powerful legs and bring the giant bird to the ground. The reward for their teamwork is a feast that will sustain them for days, a rare victory in a landscape where every meal is hard-won. By combining their speed, intelligence, and social bonds, these coalitions unlock opportunities that solitary cheetahs can only dream of, ensuring their survival in a world of constant competition. After the hunt, the brothers reaffirm their bond. grooming, nuzzling, and resting together, their unity the key to their continued success. As the sun sets and the savannah cools, the coalition moves on, living proof that in the wild, the greatest odds can be overcome not by individual brilliance alone, but by the power of brotherhood and shared purpose. High in the mist-shrouded mountains of Japan, where ancient forests cloak the slopes and the air is thick with the hum of life, a silent war rages beneath the canopy. Here, the Japanese honeybee has carved out its existence, building intricate hives in the shelter of tree hollows and rocky crevices. But this tranquil world is under constant threat from a formidable adversary, one that has shaped the very evolution of these bees. For countless millennia, the Japanese honeybee has faced the relentless onslaught of the giant hornet, a predator so fearsome that its mere presence sends ripples of alarm through the hive. The giant hornet is a living weapon, armored in chitin, 5 times the size of its prey, and armed with scythe-like mandibles capable of decapitating a bee in a single, swift motion. Its exoskeleton gleams in the dappled sunlight, a harbinger of destruction. The attack begins with a single scout. This hornet, methodical and patient, prowls the hive's perimeter, searching for the telltale scent of honey and the vibrations of life within. When it finds its mark, it releases a potent pheromone, an invisible beacon that will summon a legion of hornet warriors to the site. In other parts of the world, European honeybees, unfamiliar with this ancient enemy, fall helplessly before the hornet's assault. Their defenses crumble, and within hours the hive is reduced to a silent graveyard, its defenders slaughtered, its stores plundered. But the Japanese honeybee is no ordinary victim. Over generations it has forged a defense so extraordinary that it stands as one of nature's most ingenious countermeasures, a living fortress built not of stone or wood, but of wings and heat. When the hornet scout appears, the bees do not panic. They do not scatter or attack in vain. Instead, they remain poised, their movements calculated, their purpose singular. The bee's strategy is not brute force, but deception and precision. They allow the hornet to approach, drawing it ever closer to the heart of their domain. The hornet, emboldened by the apparent lack of resistance, edges toward the hive entrance, its antennae twitching with anticipation. Patiently, the bees guide the intruder inside, deeper and deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of their home. This is the point of no return. The hornet, now surrounded by the very creatures it sought to destroy, is oblivious to the trap that is about to spring shut. Lured by the promise of easy prey, the hornet ventures further, its confidence growing with each step. Suddenly, the hive erupts into coordinated action. Hundreds of worker bees surge forward, enveloping the hornet in a living shroud. In a matter of seconds, the hornet is trapped at the center of a dense, pulsating sphere, a fortress constructed from the bodies of its would-be victims. Remarkably, the bees do not sting. Their weapons remain sheathed, their jaws closed. Instead, they unleash a different kind of assault. Each bee begins to vibrate its flight muscles in unison, generating an intense, collective heat. The temperature inside the bee ball rises with astonishing speed, transforming the cluster into a living furnace. The air shimmers with heat, the bees' bodies glowing with the energy of their synchronized effort. This is their fortress, a barrier of wings and heat, impenetrable and deadly. The bees maintain this formation with astonishing discipline, each individual perfectly attuned to the collective, pushing the temperature to the very edge of their own endurance. At the heart of this living oven, the hornet thrashes in vain, its armor no match for the relentless heat. The temperature soars past 47 degrees Celsius, far beyond the hornet's threshold, but just within the bee's remarkable tolerance. The hornet's muscles seize, its nervous system falters, and finally it succumbs to the searing heat. In this crucible of wings and fire, the invader is vanquished, not by stings or brute strength, but by the collective will and ingenuity of the hive. When the danger has passed, the bees slowly peel away, revealing the lifeless form of their enemy, a stark warning to any who would threaten their home. This living fortress of wings and heat stands as a testament to the power of adaptation and unity. In the face of overwhelming odds, the Japanese honeybee has transformed vulnerability into strength, proving that in nature's greatest battles, intelligence and cooperation can forge the most unbreakable defenses. In the wild, the boundary between hunter and hunted is often blurred, and sometimes the most formidable threats come not from prey, but from other predators. Here, survival is not just about catching a meal, it's about defending it from equally skilled rivals. The African savanna is a stage for some of nature's most electrifying confrontations. When apex predators cross paths, the air thickens with tension. These are not mere skirmishes, but calculated battles for dominance, territory, and the right to feast. Each encounter is a collision of power and strategy. A lion's raw strength meets the relentless persistence of a hyena clan, each side testing the other's resolve in a contest where hesitation can mean starvation. Along the Mara River, the drama intensifies. Here, the king of the savanna and the master of the waterways are drawn together by the promise of a meal, their territories overlapping in a narrow band of opportunity. Lions, with their coordinated teamwork and imposing presence, sometimes find themselves face to face with crocodiles, ancient reptiles whose patience and explosive power make them formidable adversaries. These encounters are sparked by opportunity, a fresh kill, a vulnerable moment, or the simple need to drink. Both predator and rival are acutely aware of the risks, their senses heightened, every muscle tensed for action. When a lion pride brings down prey near the riverbank, the scent of blood draws crocodiles from the depths. The water's surface breaks, and a prehistoric hunter emerges, its eyes fixed on the prize. Sometimes the roles reverse. A crocodile, having dragged a carcass ashore, must defend its meal from the bold approach of hungry lions, each side calculating the cost of engagement. The standoff is silent at first, predators sizing each other up, reading every movement, every flick of a tail or twitch of a muscle. The tension is palpable, the outcome uncertain. Driven by hunger and the need to provide for her cubs, a lioness may risk everything, lunging at the crocodile with a snarl, her claws flashing. The crocodile responds with a thunderous snap of its jaws, its armored tail lashing the ground. Both sides are cautious, acutely aware that a single misstep could mean a crippling injury. The calculus of risk and reward plays out in real time, each animal's survival instincts honed by countless generations of conflict. Elsewhere on the plains, another rivalry simmers. Lions and spotted hyenas, two of Africa's most iconic predators, are locked in a perpetual contest for food and territory. Hyenas, often misunderstood as mere scavengers, are in fact skilled hunters. Their powerful jaws can crush bone, and their complex social structures allow them to coordinate attacks and defend their spoils with remarkable efficiency. When a large hyena clan converges on a lion pride's kill, the balance of power shifts. Numbers and strategy are pitted against brute force and courage. The resulting clash is a cacophony of roars, whoops, and growls, a chaotic melee where every animal fights for its place at the table. Hyenas may have the advantage in numbers, but the arrival of an adult male lion can change everything. His sheer size and power can scatter even the boldest challengers, reasserting the lion's dominance. These battles are not for the faint of heart. Blood is spilled, and the aftermath is a testament to the savagery and necessity of these encounters. Each fight leaves its mark, both on the land and on the survivors. The competition for food is relentless. Every carcass becomes a focal point for conflict, a magnet drawing in all who are hungry and bold enough to challenge for it. For those who succeed, the reward is a hard-earned meal. The energy gained must outweigh the energy spent, or the victory is hollow. For the defeated, the cost is high. Walking away hungry can mean days of hardship, and for some, it is a setback they may not recover from. These confrontations are about more than just food. They reinforce social bonds, establish hierarchies, and determine which families and clans will thrive in the unforgiving wild. In the end, these epic showdowns are a stark reminder. Even at the pinnacle of the food chain, life is a ceaseless struggle. Every day, every meal, every encounter is a test of strength, intelligence, and will, a battle for supremacy written in tooth and claw. In the silent, shadowy depths of the ocean, where sunlight barely penetrates, life is a relentless contest. Here, bioluminescent hunters drift through the darkness, their bodies aglow with eerie light, luring prey into invisible jaws. Every movement is calculated, every flicker of light a potential trap or a desperate signal for help. Far above, on the wind-scoured summits of the world's highest mountains, animals endure freezing winds and thin air. Snow leopards, cloaked in pale fur, stalk nimble ibex across treacherous cliffs, each step a gamble between hunger and survival. Across every landscape, the natural world is a tapestry woven from countless acts of conflict and adaptation. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, is locked in a daily struggle to outwit, outrun, or outlast its rivals. The dramatic confrontations we witness, predator against prey, rival against rival, are not isolated spectacles, but the visible peaks of a vast, hidden network of competition. These battles are woven into the endless cycles of migration, birth, and death, shaping the destinies of entire populations. In the open ocean, a flying fish bursts from the water, its fins transformed into wings as it flees the snapping jaws of a dorado. But safety is fleeting. Above, a frigate bird swoops down, seizing the fish in mid-air, a reminder that danger comes from every direction. In every habitat, from dense forests to arid deserts, animals must navigate a maze of threats, each layer of the ecosystem presenting new hazards and opportunities. The competition for food is fierce. Herds clash at watering holes, flocks jostle for seeds, and solitary hunters stake out territories, each encounter a test of strength, cunning, or endurance. Over generations, these pressures sculpt bodies and behaviors. Antlers grow larger, camouflage becomes more intricate, and hunting strategies evolve in a never-ending arms race. Obstacles abound, raging rivers, parched landscapes, and sudden storms. Only those who adapt, who learn and innovate, can hope to survive. Yet, amid the struggle, there is learning. Parents invest time and energy in their young, passing on the hard-won lessons of survival. On the savannah, a lioness gently guides her cub, teaching it to read the wind, to move silently, to sense the pulse of the herd. She demonstrates the patience and precision required to stalk a wary warthog, her every move a lesson in the art of predation. These skills, passed from mother to cub, are the difference between life and death, ensuring the next generation is prepared for the challenges ahead. In the parched wilderness, an elephant matriarch leads her family across a barren plain, her memory guiding them to hidden water. She knows the secret places where water lingers, her wisdom a lifeline for the herd. Through her guidance, the young learn to read the land, to sense the subtle signs of moisture beneath the dust. These moments of nurturing are as vital as any battle, for they ensure the continuity of life in a world that offers no guarantees. Young animals practice, stumble, and try again. Their play a rehearsal for the real dangers that await. Cubs spar and chase, learning the tactics they will one day use in earnest. Families move together, each generation building on the knowledge of those before, forging a living chain that stretches back through time. The land itself is a force, shaping and testing its inhabitants. Floods, droughts, and fires sweep across the wilderness, resetting the stage and demanding new strategies. With each season, the rules shift. Rain transforms deserts into grasslands, while winter's chill drives migrations across continents. Wildebeests surge across swollen rivers, risking everything as crocodiles lie in wait, the price of movement paid in blood. Mustangs gather at shrinking waterholes, their numbers drawn together by necessity, each encounter a delicate balance between cooperation and competition. Sometimes the environment itself changes in unexpected ways. Rivers shift course, forests reclaim grasslands, and new challenges emerge. When new species arrive, the balance is disrupted. In a French river, the arrival of Wells catfish sets the stage for a remarkable adaptation. These catfish, driven by hunger and opportunity, develop a shocking new tactic. They launch themselves from the water, snatching unsuspecting pigeons from the riverbank, a vivid display of nature's capacity for innovation. Such moments are evolution in motion, as animals respond to new pressures with creativity and resilience. Across the globe, every species is engaged in this ceaseless dance, adapting, innovating, and surviving against the odds. Each animal is a testament to endurance, its body and mind shaped by the demands of its environment. From the silent patience of a stalking predator to the frantic dash of prey, every action is a calculated risk, every moment a test. The coordinated hunt of a wolf pack, each member playing a vital role, reveals the power of cooperation in the face of adversity. The Japanese honeybee, faced with a deadly hornet, deploys a unique defense, swarming the intruder and raising the temperature to lethal levels. Stallions clash in fierce duels, their strength and determination deciding the fate of the herd. After every challenge, survivors regroup, heal, and prepare for what comes next, their resilience a quiet triumph. In the harshest conditions, determination is the difference between life and death. Every heartbeat, every breath is a victory. This is the story of life, unyielding, ingenious, and endlessly diverse. In every corner of the planet, from the deepest ocean to the highest peak, nature's greatest battles unfold in scenes of breathtaking beauty and raw power. In this world of constant challenge, every creature is both a survivor and a participant in the grand, ongoing drama of life. As daylight fades and the world slips into shadow, a new cast of survivors emerges. The night belongs to those who have mastered darkness, nocturnal animals whose lives are governed by the rhythms of the moon and stars. For them, the cover of night is both sanctuary and battleground, a time when ancient instincts and ingenious adaptations come alive. In the dense canopy of a tropical rainforest, a slow loris glides silently along a branch, its enormous eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of starlight. Unlike the hurried hunters of the day, the loris moves with deliberate caution, its grip steady and unhurried. Its secret weapon, a venomous bite, rare among mammals, used to ward off predators and rivals in the gloom. Below, on the forest floor, a pangolin unfurls from its protective ball. Cloaked in armor-like scales, it uses its keen sense of smell to track ants and termites beneath the leaf litter. Every movement is calculated to avoid the attention of night stalkers, leopards and hyenas that prowl the shadows, relying on acute hearing and the faintest rustle to guide their hunt. Across the savannah, the calls of nightjar birds echo, cryptic shapes blending seamlessly into the dusty ground. Their plumage is the perfect camouflage, rendering them nearly invisible to both predator and prey. With a sudden burst of movement, they snatch moths from the air, their silent flight a marvel of adaptation. In the desert, where daytime heat is unforgiving, life begins anew under the stars. Fennec foxes emerge from their burrows, ears swiveling to capture the subtlest sounds of scurrying insects. Their oversized ears are not just for hearing, they dissipate heat, keeping the fox cool as it traverses the dunes in search of food. Meanwhile, in the open ocean, squids rise from the depths in a nightly migration, their bodies pulsing with bioluminescent light. This otherworldly glow confuses predators and lures prey, turning the dark water into a stage for silent, deadly drama. Nocturnal survival is a delicate balance of senses and stealth. Bats, the rulers of the night sky, navigate and hunt using echolocation, high-frequency calls that map the world in sound. Each chirp and flutter allows them to chase insects with breathtaking precision, even in total darkness. For prey, the cloak of night offers protection, but only for the vigilant. Mice and shrews scurry beneath ground cover, relying on whiskers to sense danger. Their world is a maze of scent trails and subtle vibrations, a constant race to feed without being fed upon. As the hours pass, the night teems with life, each creature finely tuned to its environment. The interplay of predator and prey, of adaptation and innovation, continues unseen by the sun. In the quiet before dawn, an owl perches high above the earth, its gaze unblinking, its flight utterly silent. With a swift, graceful dive, it claims its prize, a testament to the power of patience and precision. When the first rays of sunlight pierce the horizon, the nocturnal world retreats. Yet their strategies and secrets remain, etched into the fabric of the night, an enduring reminder that survival, in all its forms, is an art practiced in darkness as well as light. Beneath the shimmering surface, where sunlight fades into an endless blue, a different arena of survival unfolds. Here, the ocean's depths are a world apart, silent, shadowed, and governed by laws unseen from above. Every movement is a risk, every breath a wager in the never-ending contest between predator and prey. A vast kelp forest sways with the current, its fronds a labyrinth for those who know how to hide. A small octopus glides effortlessly between the stalks, its skin rippling with shifting colors and textures. This master of disguise can vanish in plain sight, blending seamlessly with the rocks and sand. But camouflage is only one tool in its arsenal. When a hungry moray eel darts from a crevice, the octopus releases a cloud of ink, an inky smokescreen that buys precious seconds to escape into the maze. Elsewhere, a school of sardines forms a living shield, their bodies moving in perfect synchrony. Their only defense is unity, each fish relying on the collective to confuse and evade the sharp eyes of a hunting tuna. With lightning speed, the tuna slices through the silver mass, scattering the school in a burst of panic. For a few, the gamble pays off. For others, the ocean claims its due. On the seafloor, a camouflaged flounder lies motionless, its body indistinguishable from the sand. Patiently, it waits for the unwary, a shrimp, a crab, anything that ventures too close. In a sudden burst, the flounder strikes, swallowing its prey in an instant. Here, patience and stillness are as deadly as speed. Above the reefs, a barracuda stalks the twilight waters. Its streamlined body is built for bursts of acceleration, and its keen vision can spot the faintest flicker of movement. Prey fish scatter at its approach, but the barracuda is relentless, singling out the weak and isolated with ruthless efficiency. Even the smallest creatures are locked in battle. In the open ocean, a jellyfish drifts, its trailing tentacles lined with stinging cells. Tiny fish dart among the tentacles, seeking shelter from larger predators, but one wrong move means a swift and paralyzing end. These underwater wars are waged in silence, each encounter a delicate balance of adaptation and instinct. The weapons are many: camouflage, speed, venom, armor. Each creature, from the tiniest shrimp to the apex shark, is both hunter and hunted, shaped by the unyielding demands of survival. In the world beneath the waves, there are no second chances. The ocean is both cradle and crucible, forging life in the crucible of endless conflict. And as currents shift and tides turn, the silent wars continue, unseen, unending, and essential to the pulse of the planet. Across the vast, sun-baked plains of the Savannah, a timeless ritual unfolds, one of the most spectacular migrations on Earth. Driven by an ancient memory and the scent of distant rain, immense herds of wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle embark on a journey fraught with peril and uncertainty. The ground trembles beneath thousands of pounding hooves as animals surge forward, drawn by the promise of greener pastures and life-giving water. Yet every step is shadowed by danger. Towering columns of dust rise into the sky, marking the relentless march. The path ahead is uncertain. parched earth cracks beneath their feet, and the scorching sun saps their strength. Calves stumble, struggling to keep pace with the herd. Predators lurk at the edges, lions, hyenas, and wild dogs, all waiting for the weak to fall behind. The herd's only defense is its unity, a living shield against the ever-present threat. But the greatest challenge lies ahead, the river crossing. Before them, a wide, churning river cuts through the savannah, a barrier that must be overcome. The water is swift and deep, its muddy currents hiding unseen dangers. Crocodiles glide silently beneath the surface, their patience rewarded by the chaos to come. At the riverbank, the herd hesitates. Instinct and urgency wage war within every animal. Then, with a surge of collective will, the first wildebeest leaps into the water, and the others follow in a desperate cascade. The crossing is a test of endurance and luck. Some are swept away by the current, their cries lost in the roar of hooves and water. Others fall prey to waiting jaws, claimed by the river's ancient predators. Yet the herd presses on, driven by the promise of survival on the far shore. Those who make it emerge dripping and exhausted but alive, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the savannah's migrants. As the sun sets, the survivors graze on the fresh grasses of new land. For now their journey is rewarded, but the cycle is never-ending. The rains will pass, and once again the herds will be called to move across plains and rivers through uncertainty and danger, bound by the rhythms of the wild. In the great crossing, every life is tested, and every survivor is a story written in dust, water, and raw determination. Beneath the towering grasses and leaf-littered floors, a hidden world thrives, a realm ruled not by size or strength, but by ingenuity and adaptation. Here, insects face a daily onslaught of predators, each encounter a battle for survival that has shaped extraordinary defenses over millennia. A stick insect sways gently on a slender branch, its body indistinguishable from the twigs around it. This master of mimicry disappears in plain sight, fooling even the sharpest eyes. Elsewhere, a vibrant caterpillar arches its back, revealing false eye spots along its body. These painted warnings mimic the gaze of a snake, sending birds and lizards recoiling in confusion. The bombardier beetle, unassuming at first glance, reveals a more explosive secret. When threatened, it unleashes a rapid-fire chemical spray, the liquid boiling as it erupts from its abdomen. The predator staggers back, blinded and burned, while the beetle slips away unharmed. But deception isn't the only weapon in the insect arsenal. The iron-clad diabolical beetle relies on armor so tough that few jaws can pierce it. Ants swarm over its shell, jaws snapping, but the beetle remains unmoved, a living fortress in miniature. Some insects wield toxins with surgical precision. The monarch butterfly's brilliant orange wings warn of the deadly chemicals it harbors, a lesson learned by predators through bitter experience. Elsewhere, the assassin bug stalks its prey, injecting paralyzing venom that liquefies its victim from within. A silent, unseen end. Camouflage, mimicry, armor, and poison. Each strategy is a testament to nature's inventiveness. The orchid mantis blends seamlessly into its floral throne, luring pollinators close enough to strike. The ant-mimicking spider walks among colonies undetected, shielded by its perfect disguise. In this miniature battleground, every day is a contest of wits and will. These tiny titans may be overlooked by the giants of the wild, but their survival is a masterpiece of evolution, proof that in nature the most intricate defenses can belong to the smallest of warriors. High above the forest floor, where sunlight filters through a living mosaic of leaves, a different war rages, one fought in silence, in shadows, and in split-second decisions. This is the Canopy, an aerial kingdom where every branch is both refuge and battleground. A blue-grey gnatcatcher flits between slender twigs, its tiny form barely disturbing the still air. But it is not alone. Overhead, a troop of squirrel monkeys leap from limb to limb, each movement calculated with acrobatic precision. Every landing sends a cascade of insects tumbling into the air, triggering a frenzied chase as birds and lizards compete for the sudden bounty. But in this crowded theatre, food is only one prize. Territory is fiercely contested. A pair of scarlet tanagers lock eyes in a standoff, their vibrant plumage a warning as much as a display. With a flash of wings and a chorus of sharp calls, they lunge, spiraling through the branches in a blur of colour. The victor claims a patch of sunlight, a vital resource for attracting mates and raising young. Elsewhere, a stealthy green tree python coils patiently along a mossy bough, its body disguised among the leaves. Above, a family of colobus monkeys navigates a precarious bridge of vines, ever watchful for the silent threat lurking below. One misstep, one moment of inattention, and the balance shifts from predator to prey. Competition is relentless. A male paradise flycatcher constructs a delicate nest, weaving it from spider silk and soft lichens, all while fending off rivals vying for the same slender branch. Nearby, a gliding lizard launches itself into the void, ribs splayed to catch the wind, escaping a prowling civet by mere inches. Every resident of the treetops, from the smallest tree frog to the largest hornbill, must master the art of survival in 3 dimensions. Danger comes from every angle, above, below, and all around. Yet amid this constant struggle, moments of grace emerge, a sunbird sipping nectar in a shaft of light, or a family of flying squirrels sharing a rare, peaceful dusk. In the silent wars of the Canopy, victory is measured not by noise or spectacle, but by the ability to thrive, unseen and unheard, in the world above the world. Beneath the shimmering surface of ancient rivers and swamps, a silent contest unfolds, a battle for dominance among the world's most formidable aquatic reptiles. Here, the slow swirl of muddy water masks a drama as old as time itself. A massive male saltwater crocodile glides through the shallows, his eyes just breaking the surface. Every ripple signals his presence, and every movement is calculated for both stealth and power. Nearby, a younger male, barely half his size but brimming with ambition, patrols the edge of the territory. The two are drawn together by instinct and opportunity, a clash inevitable in these crowded waters. Each encounter is a test of dominance. The older crocodile claims a favoured basking bank, a prime spot for hunting and attracting mates. The younger challenger approaches, his body low, jaws slightly agape. There are no warning roars, only a sudden eruption. A violent tangle of armoured bodies, thrashing tails and snapping jaws, sending waves rolling across the surface. Teeth scrape against thick scales, and the river churns with the force of their struggle. Only one will claim this stretch of river. The loser is forced to retreat into the shadows, nursing wounds and waiting for another chance. Elsewhere, a group of gharials, slender-snouted fish specialists, compete not with brute force, but with speed and agility. Males jostle for the sunniest sandbanks, their bulbous snouts bobbing as they display dominance through posturing and splashes, each hoping to impress the watchful eyes of nearby females. The victors gain the right to prime nesting sites, ensuring their lineage continues in this harsh, competitive world. Even the seemingly placid alligator is not immune to rivalry. In the dense marshes, a female guards her floating nest, fending off opportunistic rivals, both reptilian and avian, with sudden bursts of aggression. Every hatchling is precious, and only the most vigilant mothers can secure their survival amid the constant threat of predation and infanticide. In the world of aquatic reptiles, dominance is never permanent. Each victory is temporary, each territory won is only borrowed from the river's relentless flow. From crocodiles to gharials, every reptilian ruler knows supremacy is a daily struggle, and the price of power is eternal vigilance. In the heart of the world's harshest deserts, where the sun scorches the ground and the air shimmers with relentless heat, life clings to existence with astonishing ingenuity. Here the true test is not a single predator or rival, but the unyielding absence of water, a drought that stretches for weeks, months, or even years. Beneath the blistering dunes, a fennec fox emerges only as dusk falls, its oversized ears finely tuned to the faintest vibrations of hidden prey. By day, it tunnels deep into the cool sand, escaping the deadly rays and conserving every precious drop of moisture. Every footstep, every breath is calculated to minimize loss. Elsewhere, a spiny-tailed lizard basks motionless on a sun-baked rock, its metabolism slowed to a crawl. It draws water not from rivers or puddles, but from dew that forms on its scales in the chilly desert night. With tongue flicks as swift as the wind, it harvests these droplets, each one a lifeline. Among the scattered shrubs, a herd of oryx moves with silent determination. Their bodies are marvels of adaptation. Specialized kidneys concentrate waste, allowing them to survive on the moisture found in the toughest, driest grasses. During the hottest hours, they stand in the meager shade, their pale coats reflecting the sun's fury. High above, a sand grouse soars on thermal currents, searching for distant waterholes. When it finds one, the male soaks its belly feathers, then returns, sometimes over 30 miles, to its waiting chicks. The tiny hatchlings drink from his feathers, a moving oasis delivered by wings. Even the smallest creatures have their secrets. The Namib beetle climbs the highest dunes at dawn, angling its shell to catch the morning fog. As droplets condense and trickle down, it drinks in the only water it may see for days. In this parched world, every adaptation is a testament to endurance. No single strategy guarantees survival. Only a mosaic of behaviors, finely tuned by millennia of evolution, allows life to persist where death seems inevitable. Here, in the shifting sands, survival means outlasting not just rivals but the desert itself. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah transforms into a realm of shifting alliances and silent negotiations. Here, the hunt does not end with the predator's victory. Rather, it marks the beginning of a new contest, one that unfolds in the shadows cast by moonlight and opportunity. A lone lioness brings down a wildebeest, her breath heavy with triumph and exhaustion. Yet, even before she can savor her hard-won meal, the night's true opportunists begin to emerge. Hyenas, their laughter echoing across the plain, circle with practiced patience. Their powerful jaws could easily crush bone, but tonight they bide their time, watching for a moment of weakness or distraction. Above, a wake of vultures spirals downward, their keen eyes spotting the feast from miles away. They are the sky's custodians, drawn to the promise of flesh, waiting for their chance to descend. But the lioness is not alone. Her pride mates arrive, forming a living barrier against the encroaching crowd. For now the balance holds. Predators defend, scavengers wait. Elsewhere a leopard drags its kill high into the branches of a sturdy acacia. This solitary hunter knows the cost of carelessness. On the ground below, jackals prowl, sniffing the air for any sign of falling scraps. The leopard's prize is safe, for now, but the tension never fades. In this intricate web, the lines between hunter and scavenger blur. A cheetah, too exhausted to defend its quarry, yields to a pack of wild dogs. Later, when the dogs move on, a flock of marabou storks and a pair of black-backed jackals pick at the remnants, ensuring nothing is wasted. Every carcass becomes an ecosystem, feeding not just the victor but an entire community of creatures, each with a role to play. The success of one means sustenance for many, the misfortune of another, a second chance for the patient and the cunning. In the dance of predators and scavengers, there are no villains, only survivors. Each act, each interaction is part of nature's grand economy, a delicate balance of power, persistence, and adaptation. Here, even defeat can be transformed into life, and every shadow hides a story of resilience. As the planet tilts and the days lengthen or shorten, the natural world undergoes a transformation both dramatic and subtle. This is the season's call, a force as ancient as the earth itself, shaping every life it touches. The first rains break the long, parched silence of the dry season. Grasslands, once brittle and yellow, awaken in a surge of green. Herds of wildebeest and zebra sense the shift in the wind, their instincts guiding them across vast distances to seek out the promise of fresh grazing. In the flooded marshes, frogs emerge from hidden burrows, their chorus echoing the joy of renewal. For every birth that follows, there is a race against time. Predators grow more active, capitalizing on the abundance, while prey must learn quickly or be lost to the cycle. But not all adapt in the same way. In the thick forests, orangutans craft new nests each night, adjusting their routines as fruiting trees wax and wane with the season. High in the canopy, a troop of colobus monkeys shifts its range, following the flush of tender leaves. Far below, a pangolin surfaces only after the rains, feasting on a sudden explosion of ants and termites. As the dry season returns, rivers shrink to narrow ribbons and waterholes become the stage for tense gatherings. Elephants dig into ancient memories, leading their families to hidden springs. Some creatures, like the African bullfrog, enter a state of suspended animation, encased in a cocoon of mud until the next rains arrive. The Arctic, too, is transformed by the turning year. In the endless summer sun, caribou calves find their footing on trembling legs, while Arctic foxes shed their white coats for brown, blending into the thawing tundra. When winter returns, the landscape becomes a world of scarcity and silence. Only the most resourceful endure, snowy owls shifting their hunting grounds, and musk oxen huddling close against the biting wind. Each season brings its own trials and opportunities. Some animals migrate thousands of miles, others change their diets, coats, or even the very rhythms of their lives. For every creature, adaptation is the only constant. In this ever-turning cycle, survival belongs not to the strongest, but to those who can change. The story of the seasons is the story of resilience, an endless dance between abundance and scarcity, hope and hardship. And as each chapter closes, another begins, written in the footprints left behind on earth, snow, and savanna alike. Beneath the forest's towering canopy lies a world few eyes ever see, a dim, tangled realm where every inch of soil teems with secret life. Here, under layers of fallen leaves and decaying wood, a silent war rages between the smallest of creatures. The air is thick with humidity, and the ground pulses with unseen movement. A single shrew, barely the length of a thumb, darts through a labyrinth of roots. Its heartbeat races, driven by a hunger that never fades. With senses finely tuned to vibration, it hunts for beetle larvae and earthworms, its world measured in heartbeats and shadows, but danger lurks in every crevice. A centipede, armored and patient, coils in wait, its venomous fangs ready to strike at anything that stirs the soil. Nearby, a colony of ants carves out a fortress beneath a rotting log. Their tunnels twist downward, chambers filled with eggs and larvae. Each ant has a role. Workers defend the entrances, soldiers patrol for intruders, and scouts forage above. But a threat approaches in the form of a hungry mole. Blind but relentless, it tunnels through the darkness, its sensitive snout detecting the faintest tremor. The ants respond as one, flooding the breach with biting jaws and formic acid, forcing the intruder to retreat. Above them, a velvet worm glides silently, launching sticky threads to ensnare unsuspecting springtails. Every meal is a triumph in a world where food is scarce and competition fierce. Even the humble earthworm is not without peril. Burrowing deeper to escape the dryness above, it risks becoming prey for the nimble hands of a burrowing mouse, whose whiskers twitch with anticipation. Predators and prey are locked in a constant game of evasion and pursuit. Tiny mites wage chemical warfare, releasing toxins to deter rivals. Fungal spores drift on currents of warm air, seeking to infect the unwary. The forest floor is a battlefield of adaptation where camouflage, poison, and speed are the only defenses. Yet from this turmoil comes balance. Decomposers break down the fallen, giving life to the soil itself. Each struggle, each victory and defeat weaves a tapestry that sustains the towering giants above. The hidden battles beneath the leaf litter are the foundation of the forest's resilience, a ceaseless contest that shapes the fate of all who dwell above and below. In this underworld, survival is measured not in years but in moments, and though the battles are unseen, their impact echoes upward, nourishing the very heart of the wild.